Hey you guys, what's going on? My name is Matt. Welcome back to the channel. Glad that you're here. As some of you might know, on November 20th, I am recording a live album, and I've been doing some episodes that are showing how I'm preparing for this live album recording. And last week I put out a poll asking, would you guys rather see a video of me talking about the audio routing and how I'm capturing the audio for that live event, or how I'm doing the video? And 75% of you guys said that you would rather see the video about how to capture the audio for that event. So that is the video we're getting ready to do today. But before we jump into that, I just want to let you guys know that I put videos like this out on Fridays at 6 o'clock, and I've kind of been on a every other week basis here recently. But if you guys want to see more content like this in the future, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications, because I want you guys to know exactly when these videos go live. Now let's jump straight into this video. So if you're watching this video, you're probably asking the question, how in the world do I capture audio at a live album recording? And I'm going to go over that in this video in just a few simple steps, and there's some things that you're going to have to make this work properly, and we're going to go over every bit of that content. And the very first thing that you need is some kind of recording interface to make sure that this event happens. And the interface that I'm going to be using at this event is actually the Behringer X32 digital sound console, and it's being used for two things. One, it mixes audio for the actual live show, but then I have the ability to send through USB all of these raw signals to our recording software that is recording all the raw stems of that night. And before we jump into the actual recording software, I just want to take a few seconds to let you guys know some obvious things. You need instruments, that should be a given, but to get the signal from the instruments to the actual audio interface, you have to have some cables, and sometimes things like direct boxes, and direct boxes are what take your signal from a instrument line to a microphone line, or DXLR line is what they're called, and they take them to the actual recording software. And before we go any further, I want to talk about gain structure. Gain structure is definitely something you want to make sure that you have your hands on. If you're doing this normally in a live situation, your gain structure is probably set up well, but you want to make sure that you're getting a strong enough signal to your board, so that way when it gets to your recording software, you're getting strong enough signals at the recording software, because it's really hard to edit an album when you have really weak audio signals. You want those strong audio signals in order to make editing much easier. So as we were playing, it's going to record all of that information, and it's going to send it to our DAW, or DAW, and that's a digital audio workstation, and that is the place where the audio is going to be recorded. And I'm using a program called Ableton Live, and really DAWs are all kind of the same. It just depends on what your workflow is. I'm very comfortable with Ableton Live, so that is the program that I'm going to be using for this event. So we're going to be recording every single individual part, so that way I can go back later in post and edit it or re-record anything that might need to be re-recorded down the road. And one of the things that I just want to jump on real quick before we go any further, it's not an instrument, but I do suggest that putting room microphones in the room while you're doing the recording. We're going to put ours near the front of the stage, and those microphones are going to be used to capture the actual audio of what's happening in the space for natural reverb, but also for the people that are singing along or anything else that might be happening in the room that we want to capture and put on the record. And the last thing that you need is you want to make sure you have adequate storage, and I've got a 4 terabyte hard drive sitting on the computer that is being used to record any audio that's going to be coming through that computer. And luckily we use this on Sunday mornings at our church in order to record every single live thing that happens on Sunday mornings, and it works great. We use it all the time because you want to make sure that you have as much space as possible. You don't want to run out of space, and a 1 hour event is definitely going to fit on a 4 terabyte hard drive. And that is how the capturing portion of this event is going to happen. Later down the road, I'm going to do a video on how we take those stems and master them, but that's going to have to be after November 20th whenever the recording happens. So I hope this answered some questions on everything that you need to make sure that you have all of the equipment at hand and ready to use for this live recording. You need to have an interface. You need to have the instruments that are going into the interface that are being recorded. You need to make sure you have great gain structure, and then you need to make sure that that's all going to your recording software and you have plenty enough storage in order to save it all. And hey, that's it for today. Next time we're going to do a video about how we're capturing the video for this live event. If you want to see that video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications, so that way when that video goes live, you're notified immediately of that video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see y'all next time.